video, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of a ketosis diet. What is it? How does it work? Why is it good? Why is it bad? And let's decide on whether or not you should do it or not. And I think I'm going to make this kind of a video series. So for the next few videos, I'm going to talk about one nutritional protocol per video. So stick around, watch some of the following videos if you want to learn more about other diets that are out there, so you can start to mold something that's going to be realistic, lifestyle friendly for you, that's also going to give you the results that you want. So let's talk about what ketosis is so we can get an idea of how it affects our body, to make sure that we all have a base level knowledge of how it works and how it affects you. So ketosis is simply your body's chemical reaction to the response of low carbohydrates. So if you eat less than about 30 grams of carbohydrates per day, ketone bodies in your body will increase in order to chemically alter fat that you either are ingesting or already have on your body and convert it to a synthetic, if you will, just for broad strokes terms, a synthetic form of carbohydrates that your brain and the rest of your body can utilize for energy and things like that. Now, typically you would see a nutrition protocol like this given to a type 2 diabetic. Why? Because someone with type 2 diabetes basically has an insulin sensitivity issue. So when they eat carbohydrates, it goes into their bloodstream, which is called blood glucose, and their insulin can't take that sugar and put it into other cells, like muscle tissue. And so you get type 2 diabetes when that happens. So a ketosis diet is popular amongst that group because it gives their body time to still get food because they're eating, but it gives them time to gain back that insulin sensitivity that they lost. So let's go through the pros of being on a ketosis nutrition protocol. So pro number one is that it has been shown to make you more insulin sensitive. So if you have type 2 diabetes, it has been shown that it can help reverse some of those problems. Insulin is a muscle building hormone, which is great because it gives us the muscle tissue that we all want and looks great and gives us energy. But it's also a fat storing hormone if you're not careful with it. So a ketosis nutrition protocol has been shown to regulate your insulin levels and make you more sensitive to it so your body utilizes it properly, which is always a good thing. And then tip number two is that it does give you structure. It does give you something to follow. So a lot of people's problems when it comes to nutrition, getting leaner, getting healthier, and having a healthy, fit life is that they're all over the place. They're all over the board. They're eating healthy on some days. They're not eating healthy on other days. They don't actually know what's healthy and what's not, what's good healthy food, what's not good healthy food. So following a ketosis nutrition protocol does give you structure and does give you some guidelines on what is healthy and what is not. And it does that by doing pro number three, which is that it promotes real food. So you'll start to notice that these are kind of pros in everything, but pro number three for a ketosis nutrition protocol is that it forces you to eat real stuff. So you're not eating boxed food all day long, you're not ordering takeout, you're eating real food that's grown and has as much micro and macronutrients in it as possible. And then pro number four is that it can put you into a caloric deficit or a caloric surplus depending on what your goals are. So it makes it easy to eat less, but you can also calculate it out to make you eat more if you're trying to gain weight or trying to build more muscle tissue. So if you're trying to lose weight, get in better shape, it does put you into a caloric deficit, which allows you to do that. Now let's take a look at some of the negatives. Negative number one is that it's super hard to stick to. So eating about 65% of your total calories from the day from fats and eating under 30 grams of carbohydrates can be rather tough, especially if you have a birthday coming up, because like a quarter little tiny sliver of cake and you're done for carbs for the whole day. So it does make it difficult to stick to long term. If you don't do it properly, you never actually get into ketosis because you're inconsistent with your carb intake. So if you need to be under 30, sometimes 40 grams, depending on the body, and on one random day you decide to do 60 grams, your ketosis starts over. So it is difficult to stick to and actually get into ketosis if you're not doing it properly. It should be monitored by a doctor because there's a negative number two, which is that it can actually be quite dangerous on your liver and your kidneys. So if you're not drinking enough water or getting enough micronutrients, it can be tough on those organs. So whenever you change your macronutrients, which is proteins, fats, and carbs, drastically, you're gonna also change what, how much, and from where you're getting your micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, and water. So if you're not drinking enough water, if you're dehydrated regularly, and then you also drastically change your macros, it is gonna affect how your body functions in a negative way. So you need to make sure that you're getting enough micronutrients, because micronutrients come in all sorts of different foods at different contents and severity. So if you're drastically changing how much micronutrients you're getting because you're changing how much macros you're eating, it is going to affect your body in a negative way if you don't do it right. And then the fourth negative to a ketosis nutrition protocol is that you're probably going to go into what's called the ketosis flu, which is just simply your body's trying to figure out what the heck's happening, and it goes into a state of being out of homeostasis. So you might be shaky, you might sweat a lot, you might be extremely irritable and tired, and experience some severe muscle weakness, and there's a lot of other side effects to the ketosis flu that we're not going to go into. But really what ends up happening is that it can drastically increase your cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is a type of hormone that increases when you're under stress and duress. So if you're in a ketosis flu, you're definitely not in homeostasis, and your cortisol levels will be higher. You also see it in your fight and flight scenarios. So whenever you're running from something, your cortisol levels will be higher. It's a fat storing hormone, but it also causes you to get sick easier, be more groggy and tired, lose muscle strength, all those things that we're trying to avoid. And if you drastically increase your cortisol levels because you choose to be in a ketosis flu for 5-7 days, you're gonna come with a lot of problems along with that. So fat storing, not being very active, not having a lot of mental clarity, not being very focused, being productive, being irritable, not having a lot of muscle strength, all these things. So if you want to avoid those and not even experience the ketosis flu, well, the easiest way to not experience the ketosis flu would be to not do it at all. But if you are gonna do it, know that that might happen. And with ketosis levels increasing comes the chances of increasing your fat storing. So, but if you're willing to risk that in hopes that ketosis will get you to drop body fat later, then I guess it's a moot point. And then the final negative, which is number 5, is that there's a huge bounce back problem that can happen if you quit doing ketosis incorrectly. So let's say you're eating under 30 grams of carbohydrates and then you decide to stop. If you go from under 30 to a normal range, which is going to be anywhere between 130 to 200 grams of carbs per day, depending on who you are and how big you are and what your goals are, just on a broad stroke, that is a huge jump for your body to make, and to make properly and optimally. So you're probably going to store a lot of those carbohydrates incorrectly in ways that you don't want to, because your body's not used to eating that much carbs. So what ends up happening is you gain a lot of the weight back. Long story long. So if you want to avoid gaining a lot of the weight back, you can do two things. One of two things. You can not do it at all, or 2, you can do a ketosis nutrition protocol and then weed off of it properly should you choose to quit or pause it or stop or whatever. And how you would do that is, if you're eating 30 grams, the next week you would eat 40, then 50, then 60, then 70, and so on and so forth until you get back to normal. Don't go from 0 to hero, go from 0 to sidekick. It's way better on your body. So that is one of the 2 biggest problems that I see with ketosis diets, is that it's either way too hard to stick to, and or you gain a lot of the weight back because you don't do it properly. So is this a good protocol for you? Is this nutritional style the right fit for you? Well, let's take a look. If the negatives are not outweighing the positives, then I would say no. But if the positives of doing a ketosis nutrition protocol outweigh the negatives, and you can stick to it, you can keep it healthy on your organs, and you like it and it's working, I don't see why not. You should totally do it because it check marks all those 3 boxes. But if it doesn't check mark those 3 boxes, you should consider something else, because in the long run, it's not going to solve your problem. When we talk about health and fitness, getting in great shape and staying in great shape, it's not about crash dieting. It's about doing something that you enjoy that's sustainable long term. Otherwise, we're in the wrong realm. You want to be doing something that you enjoy, you can stick to, that's working, that's safe for your body to do, that you can do for years and years and years and years and still have great success with it. So if that is the ketosis nutrition protocol, then groovy. If not, you should find something else. So I hope this video helps you. If it does, let me know with a like, a comment, things like that. Don't forget to subscribe. That always helps me a tremendous amount. So whatever social media platform you're watching this on, subscribe. It always makes a big impact in my life. And if you want me to make a big impact in your life, if you want me to be on your team and coach you through this journey, then I want you to click the link somewhere around this video. You can schedule a free consultation with me, either on the phone or in person. And I guarantee you I have a program that can help you, either offline or online. And on the off chance that I don't, I'll find a coach that does, because at the end of the day, it's all about helping you get to where you want to be. So I hope this video helps you. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.